Hello, everybody. I am so sorry. I hope Lisa finds her way here. I I am discombobbled, as I often am. What happened is I said, "Oh no, I don't think I made a placeholder." So I took the time to make a new placeholder and then went on the placeholder and waited and nobody came, and finally Lisa popped in. So let me know if there she is. Good. I'm sitting there and Lisa pops in and I'm like, okay, where's everybody else? Okay, I'll be right there. Nobody showed up. I said, you better go check just in case you really made a placeholder. What can you do with me? I tell you the truth. What can you do with me? But I'm so glad you're here because I think it was Debbie that came up with an idea. Oh, I hope not. Debbie, was it you that came up with the idea of Earth, Wind, and Fire? There's Robin. How are y'all, hon? We are worried. Oh, I tell you. And there was somebody else I talked to that was from Ontario, and I'm going to ask her how she's doing because, boy, what is with my hair? I look like that kid on the Little Rascals or something where it's sticking up. But anyway, I'm so glad to see you. I will try to get myself calmed down, but I made a whole different placeholder and was over there waiting for y'all. And Lisa can tell you because I said, I'll be there in just a minute. She knows that I was at the wrong place. So, hello, Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. So, anyway, what all day I've been working on this show. So, and I've got a pattern for y'all. I will put it on our groups IO. And if you're not on our groups IO and you'd like a copy of the pattern, just send me an email at better put my glasses on, not timer to, our time to quilt at twc.com. All right. So that's the place to send pictures of your artwork you'd like me to share, or for you to get a copy of our pattern, or if you want to join our groups IO. Okay, everybody. So let me get my lap stand set up. But Lisa, you're so sweet. Lisa was over there just waiting. And I then was like, okay, I'm waiting for somebody else to come in because I'll do last minute things until I see a good many people had checked in. So, but I wanted to touch base with Lisa because I love Lisa. Lisa's a camper like me. So she's pretty great. Let me get a drink real quick. All this excitement, what am I going to do? But I hope you've had a good chance to chat with each other. Because honestly, that's what I love most about this is we all get to interact with each other. And that's really nice. Some of us live in far-flung places. Some of us aren't able to go to quilt groups. And it's nice to have each other. So, good old water. Oh, I do want to say one thing really quickly. It's up to her to actually tell us, but, oh, thank you, Debbie. I see that. Take a deep breath. Keep Michelle, Michelle, who I started this whole group because of, in spirit of, she's a little ill. And she's going to be going through some treatments and things. Her doctor expects her to be fine. And I always let the person decide if they're going to tell you what she's got. And I don't think right now she's in the mood to do that. But she said she's going to be fine. but she's got some treatments and surgery ahead of her. So keep her close to your thoughts. She's a dear lady. And I think some of y'all are aware that her husband's having some memory problems. So she's got a lot on her plate. Luckily, her kids are rallying around her and are going to help her. So she will be okay, but just keep her. I truly believe in the power of collective caring. If nothing else, it makes the treatments easier. But anyway, okay. So I've got some pictures of, I've been working on the beach quilt. I've got it on my frame, but I have to take it slow. And let me see. I don't know if it's easier for me to put these up here. I was hoping to get them downloaded, but with the excitement, I didn't. Of course, I waited till the last minute, didn't I? What is, honest to goodness, people? I mean, I got to get with it. I just realized my son and his two kids are coming in a week and a half. I better hurry up and get this house ready. So hold on just a second. Let me see if I wanted to show you a few things I have done. Okay. Here is, well, it's not showing up that good. So what I'm going to do is try to download them. But first, I'm going to show you what triptych we're going to work on. Oh, thank you. Hi, Kathy. Oh, in fact, right, real quick, while I'm here, I want to, hold on just a second, save as, oh, good. If you give me just 1 second, chat among yourselves, and I found a shortcut to get these pictures downloaded, and I'm so excited. I've already gotten 4 of them downloaded. Now I'm going to number 5 and number 6. Boy, sometimes I look like I know what I'm doing on here. I love my new computer, but it's been tricky because not everything has been downloaded or in the same place. And we keep trying, but then we think of something else and go, oh, we forgot about that. So now how do I, okay, here we go. And save as, yeah, this will be much better to show you on the big screen. And while I show you the progress of the beach quilt, I will show you our award-winning choice of Triptych, which is our new art quilt. And some of you might be aware that a triptych is a quilt or piece of art in 3 sections. And the neat thing is, I'm going to give you the pattern. You get to decide where you're going to divide it. What I'm going to do, honestly, I've been thinking about it. I'm going to make the whole quilt and then decide where to cut it. And when I get ready to cut it, I'm probably going to take my binding and lay it in and stitch it where I want the cut to be. Or I'll mark where the cut is. That's what I'll do. I'm going to mark where the cut is, then go in and stitch along each side of the cut so I don't get any shifting and anything. So now, without further ado, as they say, let's see what I have picked out for you guys. Now, let's say you don't like this. That's okay. You won't hurt my feelings at all. Just pick out something that you would like. But I saw this and I tried very hard to look and see if it had any copyright. I couldn't find it because I had typed in, when I do searching, I always say royalty free and go looking. So let me turn the camera around and let you see this. This is our triptych. And I think the only, I didn't get many suggestions, and Earth, Wind, and Fire caught my imagination. I spent hours looking up triptychs. Finally, I thought, okay, what can I do that has the earth in it, that has wind in it, and fire? And I get a kick out of recreating Greek gods. And so I looked up. Now, this is not based strictly on that. But look at this. He is the god, small g, god of the wind, and he's got lightning in his hand, and he is riling up the winds and the seas. And I love that this has a female to be the goddess of the fire and life. And I love that she's standing right up to him. So this is going to, and I'm hoping Carol pops in because I said, I bet you Carol would love this. So this one's going to be kind of fun. This is going to be your imagination, and you can just, go with it. Go with it, absolutely. I might not do the seagulls up there, but I thought this was so cool. And what I like about it is they're not real people. She is the most realistic, but he's just part of the swirl of wind. So that I thought would be kind of fun. Now I'm going to come back to y'all, see what you think. It's a little different for Deb, but I'm excited about it. And honestly, art should carry your imagination. I know. Wouldn't we all love to have a Greek god? So, okay. Now, let me show you. This is my rendition at the moment. And it's upside down, so it might not look right to you. But here is the god of the wind. And do you see his arm kind of sticking out here? You are supposed to make it kind of blend in with the wind so you're not really sure. And here is the lightning bolt he's holding on to. Here are the cliffs down there. We're going to make a bunch of water, and then it turns into the fire. And so I've drawn her out, and I've just started coloring her in. And I thought that just might help me kind of orient how I want this to go. Now, when you print it out, I suggest, if you want to color it, I suggest you print out 3 copies. If you don't want to color it, then 2. And the reason I suggest, sorry about that phone, we don't even answer. It's all spam anyway. But when you print out these pages, one you're going to tape together, and that's going to be your master. The others that you print out, what we're going to do is, hold on just a second. Let me find some of my markers. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay. Oh, I hope you like it. I think it'll be kind of fun. So let me get over here and show you why you need 2 to 3 copies. All right. I'm going to bring this down. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see. Oops. I forgot. Well, let me see. Let me bring out this. I'm trying to learn to take better care of my stuff. And if I do a marker right on this ironing surface, I'm going to make a mess. All right. Now, when you get your pattern, You are going to get 4 pages. That's kind of my go-to. Now, it is actually missing a little bit because the printer didn't want to print edge to edge. So it may be missing a touch, but this is page 4. This goes in the bottom right corner. Here is page 3. And so what you do is you just match them up the best you can. I had little symbols, but the printer didn't print them all the way out. So try to find lines, and here's the edge of the paper. What I recommend is that you first put a piece of tape on the back like this, and then you lay it this way so you can line it up. But see, the sticky part is facing up. Then you get this lined up where you can kind of see how, you know what? I'm putting this together wrong. I apologize. So let me see if I can gently take this tape back off, because I'm so cheap. Nope, it's not working. So I'm going to get myself a whole new piece of tape. I was listening to Textile Talks Wednesday, and they were talking about the effect of the fabric making, dyeing industry on. They were talking about the industry, that the effects on the earth and resources. And so they said, if you can, just use stuff as long as you can, recycle and use. And I think that that's something we can all do. I know I wear my clothes till they're falling off me. So here we go. This is page 4, and you'll see that there's the number right down here. This is page 3. So what you want to do is, do you see this oval? Let me see. Let me see if I can get you. Whoops, don't do that, Deb. Oh, okay. What do I do? Nope. 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 Okay. What you're going to want to do is line up the little, let me bring this up a touch. Okay. I put little registration marks right here. And so you're going to want to, here is 1/2 of an oval. You want to match it to this oval. And this one over here is not wanting to match up good. But you see the design, you see kind of the line of the design in the oval. So now that is taped together. Let me zoom back out. Whoops, wrong way. Oh, I know what I need to do. I'm going to have to get Mark to tighten up the arm just a little. All right. Now, here is page 1. And that goes right here up against page 2. And these have little wiggles, but they're not really showing that good. And then down here are circles. So I tried to put different kinds of marks everywhere this goes. So when you get this, just match it up the best you can. And if you can see any of those squiggles, that will help. And then you tape it together. You may have to fill in a few little things that might be missing, and that's okay. But like this, I think this goes right here. But just kind of look at the pattern and see. Now, so I wanted to show you how to tape these two. And then here are my originals, the ones I actually drew. So I've got 3 copies. Now, what I'm going to do is, okay, what I'm going to do is take my marker and I'm going to outline the lines. So make sure it's filled out the way you want. I'm going to give you a copy of the piece, my imagination, my inspiration, pardon me. I'm going to take this magic marker because my pencil didn't show up good enough. And I want it to, in this way, I can change. I can change anything that, or add to it. Okay. And then really, it does look like what we've been going through. So I'm going to draw all the lines on here. If you want to, you can use pencil and darken the color, little color things. But the reason I want you to do this, to outline, like here are the waves coming up behind the cliffs, the rocks in the water, the rocky shoreline. The reason I want you to do this is because then when you take whatever kind of fusible you're going to use, you can lay it on there and then you'll be able to see it. And if you can see it, then you can draw your pattern. And to do all of this, what I suggest is maybe you get a piece of muslin, and you start doing one square at a time and then transferring it to the muslin. But you can go in here and do this. Now, normally I'm not going to waste this much fusible, so I'll try to then come and, fit the next piece wherever I can. So just either work on one piece at a time so you don't get confused, or you could do a nice complicated numbering system to make sure you know where you are. But this was helping me also doing this. Now I printed out a copy. It's not as pretty as the original. It doesn't give as much detail, but it will help me work on the colors. But you can see where I had to enlarge it so it's pixelated. But this kind of gives me some ideas of where to block in. Like this back in here, this is some mountains in the distance. So it just reminds me to just make those a little less prominent because they're through the mist. These are in the foreground and they're going to need some deep dark colors, but I'm just wanted to do one of these so that I can understand it better. Sometimes with just looking at this, you're not really sure what you're looking at, but just go back and forth. I'm going to put the original, not this picture, so it's very sharp. I'm going to put my original saved piece. I'm going to put it on our website. If you ask for a pattern, I will give you this and I will give you these pattern pieces. But what I would personally do was sit down. For me, I wanted to be able to sit down and kind of graph it out because it's a lot if you just look. And I think that I want to work out what different colors. That's why I went ahead with crayons, because with my pencils, I don't have that many. But I've got 96 colors here. And if I can't, I might have, Lisa. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember now. I might have. So, and it said, you could use it. Yeah, it did say you could use it as a meme and you could put writing or whatever in it. So this is just for me. I don't know what the copyright status. I tried looking and couldn't figure it out, but I'm just doing it for me. I'm not going to sell it or anything like that. So hopefully we're good. And but I thought this was really, really cool. So now I'm going to go back to showing you the one on the computer because I want to point out a few of the cool things. All right. And I had the worst time trying to figure out what in the world I was going to do. Oh, here it is. Okay. But here you can see it better on the saved picture. I love how he's here, but not really. See this this is supposed to be his other arm where he is commanding the winds and just stirring up trouble. And at least that's what I think. He looks very angry. But I love it because is it really a person or not? It kind of blends in with the winds. Now, she is definitely a little more obvious, and I think she's gorgeous. I love, whoever did this really did a phenomenal job. But I love how it's all icy and cold here. And then she comes in and it brings all this warmth. And what I've decided to do, because I wanted to make it very clear that she was fire, is I'm going to do flames. And I'm going to start yellow, and then go orange, and then go a deep red. So I'm just, where it just looks like wind swirling, I'm going to make them very obvious flames. You can do whatever way you want, but I love the fact that it shows the earth here. It shows the little trees in the mountains, and it shows the stream and the waterfall over the edge. I just love it. And I love most how it goes from dark and foreboding to very warm. So I thought that would be kind of cool. I hope you will agree to it. If not, you are welcome to come up with any design. You're not going to hurt my feelings, not a bit. I'm just trying to give a pattern and direction because I've never made one of these before. Now, when it comes to dividing this up, how do we do it? Well, we don't have to divide it in 3 if we don't want to. But I've got another. Let me go back to my Triptych folder and let's see what I found. Because I love gathering all kinds of ideas. That's where we can create. That's where we start. This one I thought was so cool. And I might use part of this in this triptych I'm doing now. Look at how the strings come down with the wooden beads. Look how that there's some strings and cutouts. Look at this. Isn't that fascinating? So it gave me some ideas. I love that. Then here is a triptych like our Robin. I think, wasn't it you, Robin, who did this with hot glue and then paint? This is actually an art triptych. 1, 2, 3 pieces. All right. Now, here is a beautiful triptych. And I got some great ideas. Let me look real quick at the woman's name who I got this from. She's an amazing artist. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I have her saved in drafts. I wanted to make sure I had her name because I was getting some wonderful ideas from her. Her name is Sharon Koppel, Koppel. Sharon Koppel. Sharon, Koppel Quilts. And oh my gosh, she loves doing triptychs. And if you go to her site, she sells her quilts. She's got amazing artwork. So this is one of hers. Okay, then I'm going to show you. I just wanted to look at all different kinds of triptychs. This is a carved triptych. It's more of an art piece. And triptych is spelled Triptych. Triptych. Okay. So now let me show you the next one. This, it's not a triptych, but I love so much what Robin did. And I thought, oh, look at this. That's a cool thing too. So there'll be more things like this in our future, I guarantee you. Here is a triptych piece of a birch forest. I think that's beautiful. Okay. Then I don't know who did this one. I just saw it on there. It was kind of neat. Like maybe this is summer or I don't know. I don't know how you would say it, but here it's like fall and then they're blowing away. I thought that was cool. So they kind of make you think, what does the artist mean? What are they trying to say? Here is another sculptural triptych. Okay. And let's see. Here is a cutie pie winter scene triptych with Christmas trees, a snowman, and another tree and a cardinal. That is so cute. Look at this one. This is a forest with a stream running through it. I thought that was pretty. So there are so many things. Now this is a triptych and it's one art piece, but they're all a little different. I'm not really sure if they have a message or they just look pretty. I thought we could do a triptych with wavy lines and maybe have them turn, go a different direction. I didn't know. I had to think of this one. I pulled out the blue marble. This is a picture by NASA that is free use by anyone. And this was taken in 1972. And I love that. When I was trying to figure out how to do Earth, Wind, and Fire, I don't know. I started at literal and figured I'd figure it out later. Now here's a triptych, but it's on one base, so it makes it easier to hang. But I thought that was cool. So you can just take one picture and divide it into three. Look at this. I thought that was fascinating. Triptychs really do have a way of standing back and looking at art a little different. Look at these poppies. Then here is a flame. I saved some pictures of flames so that I can figure out how to best do. I love that. How to best do the flames that are going to be below my goddess of flame. Oh, this was just so pretty. It's an Amish woman or Mennonite woman in Pennsylvania. And this quilt can be yours for $1,357. But we're going to be doing our Bargello. And I just happened to see that and thought, oh, grab a picture of that. Here is our Nazarene's triptych. And I like how she mimicked shapes, but it's all of the same kind of theme, but different. I thought that was fascinating. So remember this when it comes to our triptych, because how are you going to divide it? You could do rectangles like this, or I thought, what if I had a big giant wave and it's in 3 pieces? So that was fascinating. That's not really a triptych. I'm not sure why. Look at this. Now, I don't know who did this. Sometimes I just see these pictures on Pinterest or somewhere and they don't really say where. But here is a lizard here, a snake over here, and cute little frogs in the middle. So whatever you want. Oh, this one I thought was really pretty. Peace, joy, and love. I thought that's a neat way to do a triptych. And here is a quilt where it's a triptych within a border. This was really interesting. I'm not sure what it is, but I like it. Looks like thistles, maybe dried flowers. I'm not sure, but it's pretty. Look at this one. Isn't that neat? 3 very distinct times of day in a similar landscape. I don't know what this is, but I like it. I'm really starting to love fiber arts. McKenna Ryan evidently has a similar type of thing with hers. Then I thought of fish. And as long as you do the flowing lines, you could have a triptych from fish. They could be going different directions. Then I said, okay, if I do earth, wind, and fire, what would a wind god look like? So I grabbed a couple different inspirations for that. And then here is that, whoops, keep going up. Okay, so I got that. Then, oh, this was cool. Look at this. It's like a wind goddess. I thought, now that's really neat. So, and I love how her arm, is it a real person or is it a dust devil just kind of interpreted as a person? That's what I wanted to have. I didn't want anything too specific. Now look at this one. 3 sections. I love it. I love the colors. There's the blue marble again. Now that blue marble is a different blue marble, but it was pretty. Here's more flame ideas. Then that same woman I told you about, Sharon Koppel, she did this, and I thought that is a cool representation of the earth, possibly. But these were pulled off of her sites. I really recommend you go look at her work. It will give you so many interesting ways to look at things. This is all done with squares and rectangles. How beautiful. Then look at this flame. Isn't that gorgeous? So she has a real signature look. Look at this earth picture. Whoops, come on. Isn't that beautiful? And her quilting really adds movement and emphasizes texture. Whoops, try it again. This, I thought that could look like wind. So I was just going everywhere. This is a good feeling of earth. But I was going through everywhere looking for inspiration. I think that is it for my inspiration. Oops. Okay. Yep, that's all of them. So, and believe it or not, that's about 8 hours altogether of looking. Because when I would type in triptych, there wasn't much, and especially when I typed in triptych quilts, because what I want to see is how have people done it before me? What thoughts did they put? What meaning did they put into it? Just what is this curious thing that's called a triptych? And the one artwork that I went with wasn't a quilt. It was a piece of art, and it's not a triptych. But I was fascinated. I think it was Deborah who said earth, wind, and fire. But you know, it kind of I love that. Now I'm changing things about the picture, the way he looks. I did him more just way over at the edge, like so you just get barely a glimpse of him. And they're farther apart, and I'm doing the flames under here for her. So, but you can definitely tell where my inspiration came from. I don't normally do that literal of inspiration, but it was gorgeous. I really loved it. So, anyway, um, yeah, we remember Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, we've danced to their music a lot. All right, so it doesn't have to be complicated. When I was looking, I even thought it would be really cool to paint your fabric. The problem is it's really hard to do white fabric. When anywhere that it's supposed to be white, I used my white crayon. You can't really tell. So it would be tricky to keep your paints from running into other areas. And so that's where I think it's going to have to be fabric. But make it as easy or hard as you want. I think it was Jody that said just make bigger pieces. Don't get it so busy. And are the colors blendable? Yes, you can blend the crayons. But this is just to kind of, hi, So Euphoria, hon. This is just to get an idea of what I want to do, where I want to put things, all of that. So if you think you might like to try it, but where will we divide it? It's supposed to be a triptych, so I'm going to divide it. And I have to decide. But you could even divide it this way. You could divide it down the middle this way. More likely, I'm going to take and bring him across this way and maybe do this across, I'm going to have it unusual shapes, I do believe. But first, I'm going to make the whole thing. It's overwhelming enough that to try to divide it now and do 3 separate pieces might overwhelm poor me. On this, I will use a foundation. I do on most of my art quilts because I like gluing stuff down. Okay. I like gluing stuff down. I like, I'm a very literal person and I have to see the drawing. I have to see the fabric. I have to see exactly where to put it. I'm going to do things like Jody does and put, like here with the fire, I'll probably put one piece here and one piece there and then fuse the smaller flames on. So I think it's going to be kind of fun. And now she has some blue sky. The neatest thing is all the earth areas become browns and oranges and yellows. But then the sky above her is a beautiful blue sky. So I think that is fascinating. Now, the artist put seagulls in here, but I don't think I want seagulls. I think I want these two entities kind of battling on, is it going to be the cold wind or is it going to be the warm fire? So we'll see. So anyway, I'm hoping this makes some sense to you. If you want to do an art triptych like Miss Robin showed us, where you can take hot glue and do a tree or something like that, you can do that in 3 pieces. She used beautiful metal paint over it. I mean, it was gorgeous. You could even take like a joint compound, put it in a squeeze bag and use that. I was looking at that one tree with the knot holes and stuff thinking, how did they do that? The thing I love most about art quilts or art projects is the sky is the limit. I get so excited seeing what people come up with, what their imagination allows them to do. You've probably heard of encaustic. That's kind of what Robin was doing when she did those wonderful three-dimensional trees that she painted the metallic paint over. Encaustic is a way of taking paint and different materials and making a thick wax, all kinds of stuff, and making a thick three-dimensional textural piece of art. And there are so many things that are available to us nowadays, the things we can do. So put your thinking cap on. It is June, so it is art summertime has started. Get your hands messy. Just have fun with this. And I will get, like I said, if you want me to send you the copies of the pattern, then just send me an email. It'll be on our group. The photograph will be on our group. And let's see what we've got. Let's see what we can do. Things are trying to peek through here. I normally don't wear a lot of things, if you understand what I mean. So I don't know how to wear them now. It's like, oh, don't show that. So anyway, but I thought this is absolutely gorgeous. Whoever was the artist, wow. I want to show you real quickly while we're here. I finished these two blocks. This one is very pretty, but I'm going to tell you, it's tricky. Be careful with those little, the little squares that you sew on the corner. Make sure everything gets on the right size if possible. This was a bear to put together, but part of it is me. I'm not calm and rational. I'm always in such a hurry. It's like I have so many things to do. So now I have the 15 I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do next, and I'll give you one of my best hints. I'm going to take my 15 blocks and I'm going to lay them on the floor if I can get up and down good enough, or a table, and I'll probably do 5 at a time. So I'll do 3 groups of 5. Then I will stand directly over them and take a picture of them. Then I will print the picture out. I'll crop it to make sure it's just the blocks and they're nice and square. And that's why I want to do small groups. If I did all 15 blocks, I'd have a mess. You know how sometimes when you try to take a picture of something, it kind of skews? Well, you want these to be as square as possible. So I'm going to do 5 in a little group, lean right over them, take a picture. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to crop it to get just the blocks in. Then I'm going to print the group of 5 on cardstock. And then I'm going to cut the blocks out. And it's like making a puzzle, except it's not going to be weird shapes. They're just going to be a bunch of squares. And then that way I can take each picture of a block and I can play with the placement, the layout. And it's going to be so much easier than trying to sit and mess with 15, 12-inch blocks. So that's one of my best tips I've ever had. And let me see if I have any. I used to keep the pieces. When I would teach a class, I would show people that, because people really appreciated that tip. So I used to keep some of the original blocks that I printed to show them how they looked, but I'm not sure they're still in here. I haven't taught a class since before the pandemic, and I probably will not teach another class. I Doing a class is a lot of hard work. And you have to be there and all of that. And honestly, that's why I started this. Oh, here's a gum eraser. You know how I tell you that use a white eraser or a gum eraser? They won't leave any colors. Sadly, I am not finding one of those cardstock. I thought I always tried to save them, but it's been years now. Oh, well, I'm sorry I can't show you that. But this is my pink tote. Back when there was a Sears, I got these. I got one for Mark. Actually, I think Mark has two. But this was wonderful. It just has so much space. If you ever see one of these, grab it. They were like $9 or $12. Best thing, and they're so sturdy. I can keep all my stuff in there and not get it confused. So, and when it's ready to go wherever I go, to a retreat or class. I keep it ready. All right. So I think one more thing. So I've told you what to do when you want to work on a layout, because not every one of us has a design wall. I don't have a design wall. And you'd have to have a very big design wall to do 15, 12-inch blocks. So that's my best advice I can give you. And it's a lot of fun. You just move them around, and they're just, this big, and you move them around. All right. So here is my next dollhouse. And I promised myself that I don't get any more until Christmas. So I'm going to really enjoy this. And I forgot, my son also gave me a different kind that I think was pretty expensive. I've got to talk to that young man. He shouldn't be spending that much money on me. But anyway, the house that this is right up here in that corner. It has a Christmas tree out here. There's the puppy playing the piano, and it has a sofa and a little fireplace. So I have decided that when I do this, I'm going to do at least part of it. I'm going to film it. And so you can kind of see, what does it really mean? Okay. The Zoom, we're going to have a Zoom or Jitsi. I have to decide, which one will allow me to do it for the length of time that I want to. We need to talk about what time it is. And I was going to design a pattern, but I found a free pattern, and I think it's really nice. And so in the next week or so, I'm going to put out, it's going to be in a month. Not quite a month, full month, but I'm going to put out the fabric requirements and the tools that you should gather to do it. And it's going to be pretty easy. I'm trying to keep it inexpensive. You can shop your stash. Mark wants me, and he's right. He said, Deb, do one before the class and then do one with them. And so I am going to do that. And he said, and feel free to go get new fabric, so that way it'll be easy. I love that. I love that. So anyway, so the second it's Willow's birthday. Oh gosh, I remember you getting her. They grow up so fast. My Grammy went to the vet, had blood work. They were a little concerned about a couple of his numbers. He was perfect. 11 years old, perfect. Thank goodness. I'm holding on to them. Did I tell you that he's going to walk me down the aisle? Yep. My heart dog's going to walk me down the aisle. So anyway, but happy birthday, Willow. She is a doll baby. So it's the second week of, let me see, I'll get the dates. I want to make sure that we pick the dates and we stick to it and everybody knows what to expect. It looks like now it will be the 10th of July through the 14th of July. And it is free. And you, let me close this without losing. I don't want to lose my chat. Okay, it almost finished closing. Huh. Well, it's gone. It's the 10th through the 14th of July. What I need from you is what time of day. It will be a live event, and you'll be able to be seen if you wish, and you'll be able to talk. So if you have a device that has a microphone in it and a camera, it's going to be like we're almost in the same room. And I thought we would do a class for maybe 2 hours a day. And what I'm hoping, and I'm going to cut the fabric with you, I'm going to sew every stage with you, and then show you how to finish it. So, and it'll be our first official class. No charge. You don't have to be a member or anything. You just have to send me an email so I can know where to send your notice of that. I've got to give you a link to the time that we're going to use. So, and I'm just going to be sitting here and working with my camera, and you can mute or have your camera off, or you can keep it on. And I think we should bring chocolate. Every good quilt starts with chocolate. I'm going to bring some lemonade. So I think we'll have fun. And let's just, we might, if we can make it last longer than 2 hours, maybe it will. But I'm setting aside, I drop things all the time. I'm setting aside that whole week for y'all. So I think it'll be fun. This is one of the best sewing machine cleaners out there. I love the big, wide, soft brushes. When you see dirt in there, you can just go and it'll pick up the dirt or lint. I love this thing. It's soft. It gets everything cleaned up really good. All right. So I will give you in the next week, so you have time to gather your stuff. I will get you the fabric requirements, the tool requirements, and we'll just sit and have fun. So be thinking about what time of day. Make it after 12. That's a good idea because I don't normally wake up till 10. So what time? Well, I've got you here. What time? Just shout out what time is best for you. And we may do them different times, different days. So if you can't be here for this time, we'll do a time where we'll try to, I want it to work for you. Okay. So 3 to 5 says Lisa's Quilting Corner. What do you guys think? That would be 3 to 5 New York time. Okay. East Coast time. And what do you think? Everybody says afternoon. I totally agree. Melanie's going to have some chocolate. I think we could all bring a dessert and share. But that's the fun part. Okay. So what do you think about 3 to 5? And I may come in just a little bit early if anybody would like any special time. Okay. I think we've got it. So that's what we're going to do. And the thing I love about doing a class in July, it's usually too hot to want to go outside. So, and I try never to go camping in July. It's just too hot. So, okay. Well, this is great. I think we've got things worked out. Jody, you'll be able, I hope, to join us. I don't know your work schedule and stuff, but hopefully those of you who work remotely can at least kind of keep an eye on what's going on. All right, that's perfect. All right. And I will probably show you a picture of the Bargello. The one thing I don't want you to do is to start working on it ahead of time. And then you'll be asking questions, and we're not going to be at that stage. And what I want to do is keep it calm and step by step. Okay. And if you are nervous about doing it, I'll even give you the cutting instructions ahead of time if that would make you feel better. Different students like different things. Oh, you'll be camping. Oh, but you know what? Good for you, Cheryl. Luckily, she lives in Michigan. So hopefully it's not quite as bad. Mark used to live in Dallas, Texas. And so I sent him a little thing on his phone because I was up last night looking. Dallas, Texas is going to be 105 to 110. And they said it's going to stay there for a while. And I thought, no, 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 no. So I went to Dallas. Too bright, too hot. I was like, I can't do it. Any of you who live in Texas, bless your hearts, but I can't do it. Well, I tell you what, Cheryl, I'm going to see if I can tape these, and that way you can catch up when you get back. Would that be okay? And now, if you're able to get internet at your camping, then you can kind of see what we're doing. But go and have fun camping. Fort Hood, Texas for 5 years. I mean, Mark would get in his car and says, my car thermometer says it's 117. And I said, you want me to move there? Why? So anyway, thank goodness. When the first grandchild was born, he thought, I think I'm moving to North Carolina because I wasn't going to be away from my grandbabies. So, I forgot to show you what I'm doing real quick because it's almost been an hour, but real quick, I want to show you what I'm working on the beach quilt. And you know what? Thread painting takes time. So, all right. Your daughter is near Houston, and Debbie lived near Houston, I think, too. And Houston is not only hot, but it's very humid. And people that live in Houston, they are my heroes because I don't do hot and humid. All right, let me show you real quick. Okay, let's see. I was just thinking it might be fun, Cheryl, for you to say hi, but don't feel pressure. Vacations are vacations. All right, let me go up here and beach landscape. Aha, whoop. Okay, here it is. All right, here is the quilt from a distance on the frame. And I tell you, anybody who has a mid or long arm, that is the way to do the thread painting. But what I've done is I've done some light colored sand work here. I've done light to kind of just show different. Somebody had done this around their footprints, done a light colored thread stitching, and I loved it. Then I put some more colors on here, and I've just about finished with my seagrasses there. So let me now show you the next one, and you'll see, now you can see where my whoops, let me turn off this light and turn off this light. All right. You can see now where I've done a lot more. Oh, and Debbie, were you able to get your fencing in? Because if you see, it's not that wide of an area, but it's just turning it, and showing the back side here and putting the plants in front that gave it that look. And you can see where I've come in with the light color because sand is all different shades. Here are the beach grasses. I've brought in the pictures that I had. They really weren't bright green lush. They were kind of, stressed or whatever. And so you'll see all of the different colorations that I have put into the beach grasses and these wonderful seed heads. So I had a lot of fun. I'm very happy with how this looks. But there are 4 or 5, I think 5 different colors of thread in that. Another close up of the fence. And that was fun to do. And this is black thread where I just stitched to look like the thin wire that holds the slats together. Now, with the footprints, first I had come in with just a dark thread and did kind of around and around, around. Then I came back in with the light color to highlight the lighter parts of the sand. Then I came back in with a golden color and did over the dark brown to mute it, give it a little bit more depth. I came in here and helped using thread to transition between the different colors of fabric because I feel like that helps. And here I did some highlighting with thread where the seagull is standing because the light is hitting there. Then I started highlighting places where I thought the light would touch. Now, I have not done much with this. I've done a little extra, but not this side. I'm not that far gone with it. And then I did some light highlighting right down to the water's edge. But anytime you do thread painting, it takes a while. So here is just showing you the highlighting that I did in the sand, just trying to, it visually kind of blends together. You still see a difference in color, but it's not so stark. Oh, that's a blurry picture. That's a blurry picture. I just snapped them real fast before I came down here. All right. There's some more of the highlighting. Somebody else, one of y'all had done highlighting around like the footprint indentations, and I loved it. And then there we go. End up with that final picture from a distance. So already I can see that the footprints are looking more natural, more natural. All right. And that bit of fencing and the seagrasses, I love it. Love, love, love it. When I went camping, I made a point. Let me get back to y'all. When I went camping, I made a point of collecting some tiny little clamshells. And now, if you are familiar with lakes, you will look at my quilt and say, wait a minute, those are freshwater clams. But I'm hoping that you're going to think that they're scallop shells or whatever, or clams from the ocean. But some of them were so tiny. So what I'm going to do is find a way to attach them. Mark has a tiny little Dremel drill. I might get him to drill a little hole so I can sew them on. And I've got to tell you, I was upstairs working on the frame and I thought, I'm so glad I'm not entering this one in a show because I can just have fun with it. I can experiment with it and say, oh, I'll try this, see how that looks. I don't have to worry. And there is something to be said for just enjoying yourself. You know, when we were little kids, we weren't worried about having our artwork judged. We were just playing. And you know what? There's something to be said for playing. All right, everyone. So just know that the beach quilt will get done when it gets done. I'm having a hard time pressuring myself to keep a fast pace. So that's fine with me. I'm just going to relax. And I'm still trying to get some things done, but not pushing quite so hard. You did a rail, split rail Oh, wonderful. Oh, nice, nice. So I hope you like the triptych. I hope you'll give it a shot. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. All right. I will see you Sunday. We're going to work on the flower quilt. I think that will be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping I'll have all those pieces printed on cardstock to show you Sunday. I'll show you how I like to audition my blocks for their positions. So, all right, everybody, take good care of yourself. Do something special just for you. Tomorrow's Friday already. So I'm going to be working in the garden until it gets warm. And then I might come in and take a nap. Do something just for you. Take good care. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It makes my day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.